Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette at 2 o'clock or wherever you are in the world somewhere. I'm excited to be sharing some fantastic festive feasting tips for you today, and it's actually our last Facebook Live for 2017. So we're going to jam pack it with lots and lots of tips. So you need pen and paper because I'm going to be throwing stuff at you that you're going to want to remember, because it's all about getting through to Christmas without packing on the kilos. So before we get into this, I wanted to just talk about the comments from last week's show. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun eating all those gingerbreads that we made last week, and your comments were amazing. Like, I just want to read a couple because I just think they're so fizzy and fabulous. Now, Katie, who is my gorgeous niece, said she was going to make these for her little son Jackson because she thinks he will absolutely love them. Now, I've got to tell you, Katie, Lincoln and Olivia came up and devoured the gingerbreads, and all of us couldn't believe it, because you know what, you think ginger, do kids like them? Oh no, they wanted seconds and thirds. Now Tracy loves the biscuits and will be making them with her grandchildren, so what a great idea. Now Maureen thought the gingerbreads were fabulous and will definitely be baking up a storm for gifting, so good on you. I think your friends are going to be very glad you watched the show last week, Maureen. Now Marissa commented, OMG Annette, I've just made these now. I'm planning to make them as a gift, but I wanted to do a trial run in case they didn't turn out. Great idea. They are the best, in capital letters, gingerbread I've ever had. Usually when I've tried making gingerbreads previously, I found it rather bland. These are fantastic. Thank you so much for this great recipe. Well, that's great. Now, if you're wondering about last week's show, this recipe was adapted from book 6 in the Ginger Kisses. So, you know, you can watch the shows, all the other shows, if you've missed them or you want to go over them again, they're always there for you to watch, and you can also watch them on YouTube. Now, Diane thought they were a great idea for presents, and finally Lynn wrote, I'm going to make them next week when the grandkids come up for the fun and begin the Christmas spirit. So I think there's going to be a lot of people baking those gingerbreads over the next couple of weeks, and I say yes to that. Now, we need a drum roll, people, please, because let's talk about winner, winner, chicken dinner. The winners from last week's show, they scored a personally signed copy of book 6. I know, fabulous. So we've got Fiona Kells. Hi Fiona, glad you're a winner. Also Irene Howard was very excited, and Bridget Mould was very elated to be getting book 6 because she didn't have it, so it's perfect. So alrighty, so let's get on the show because we've got so much to get through. I am fabulously excited about Christmas. I am like Mrs. Claus on steroids. I just love it, and I am super excited this year as well because we're having our gorgeous family coming back to Australia, so they'll be here for Christmas with us, so yes to that. So let's talk about the Christmas feasting, because you know I did talk to you a few weeks ago about the parties, but this is really more about the 25th and even the next couple of weeks as well, because to be honest with you, you have 3 choices you can make regarding how you handle Christmas. Now you can decide on number 1, and that is that you're going to stick with your program and you're going to continue to lose weight. Now I have done that over Christmases when I was losing my weight. One year I did. I lost I think half a kilo, and I was really proud of myself, and I still had lots of things that I wanted, but I was in control. Now the second one you could choose is planning to maintain over Christmas, which is what I do all the time, is hoping that Christmas is going to be just full of joy and happiness and not on the scales where I'm crying because I've just eaten too much. Now 3 is you just give up. You just go, it's too hard, I don't want to do it. So they're your 3 choices. Plan to continue on with your weight. So you need to make that call now so you can think about how you're going to approach the next few weeks, and especially the 25th. So let's get in the kitchen. I want to talk to those cooks that are going to be making the Christmas lunch. Now, when I think about Christmas, I think that there's wonderful food in Australia to enjoy, you know, beautiful seafood, you know, the roast and the fresh seasonal fruits that we have at Christmas time are phenomenal, and veggies. So we've got a plethora of choices to have. But I just think the key here is have a plan to keep you on track. So let's look at some of the things. Like for me, our Christmas special thing is breakfast. We do like a brunch and it's just fabulous and we love it. So our day is more about the breakfast and then a light lunch in the afternoon. Our kids never felt like a baked dinner in the afternoon. It's so hot in Queensland, I get it. And what we do is we have a baked dinner the next day on Boxing Day and thoroughly enjoy it. But let's think about what you can do. Overwhelming if you're the cook and you've got all the people coming and everyone has expectations. They want that crackling pork and they want that roast to be juicy and moist. So what I suggest you do is plan ahead the day before. So the day before Christmas is when I do a lot of my prep. So I will cook my roasts. We normally have a double, turkey breast. Sometimes we have the pork and we have the ham. We don't really do chickens, but some people might do that as well. And so I will cook all the roasts the day before, and then I slice them all, cling wrap it in the fridge. Now, when it comes to serving for Christmas afternoon for lunch, I just put them in the microwave and don't overdo it in the microwave. Like just treat carefully, don't have it on super high and don't cook it for 10 minutes in the microwave. Just do a couple of minutes and see how you go until that meat's nice and warm. And then you just serve it up. People will not know the difference of whether you'd made it that day, the house is all hot because the oven's been on all day and you're hot and red in the face because you're cooking as well. So that takes a lot of pressure off. So I suggest you do that. I also make the white sauce for the cauliflower. I make the gravy ahead. And then when I just put it in the saucepan the next day. Sometimes I put a little bit more milk in the white sauce, a little bit of water in the gravy because it's thickened. But hey, that's nothing, is it? But these are simple things that will make Christmas Day so much happier for you as the cook. I also prep the veggies. So the night before, I'll get the pumpkins and the onions and the potatoes and all the different things you want to have. And I chop them up into the right sizes, put them in a big bowl of water in the fridge, and then all you've got to do is drain them and dry them off and chuck them in the oven when you're ready to do it. So can you see, just doing that alone is going to take a lot of pressure off for you. If you're having a cold lunch though, which I think is quite popular in our country, that's where you can make up your salads ahead. Like not so much the tossed salads and the ones that are a bit delicate, that will soften if you put them dressed the day before, but like potato salad, rice salad, pasta salad, all those will be fantastic made the day before. And I'm making El Dorado salad, absolutely. I know you would have watched that a few weeks ago. Who doesn't want that for Christmas Day? And I will make the little tortilla strips the day before and the dressing. So I have the dressing in a little bottle, the tortillas in a little container, so then I just got to chop everything up and put it together. They're little things, but my gosh, they can make a difference on the day. I also am a little bit obsessed with my running sheet. I'll have a little list of all the jobs I've got to do, and I'll mark them off as I go so I know where I'm at. Now, when you're cooking a baked dinner, I just want to give you a couple of tips. So if you're doing the pork, I really suggest you buy the loin of pork. Write this down, people. I want you making notes. So the loin of pork is the much leanest part of the pork, and so I like that. Now I know you're saying to me, hello Annette, we're talking crackling here. Well, yes, I mean, it is part of Christmas and everyone fights over the crackling in our house. And I want to tell you how to do it the most low-fat way possible because it is part of Christmas and I'm not bar humbug. I mean, I know you're going to want to have it. So let me show you the best way to do it. And that's all. And also it's about not eating a whole cup of it for yourself. So what you do is when you buy the loin, you cut off the rind and then you put it on a flat baking tray. Rub some salt into it, quite a lot of salt, because that's what will make it go crispy and that's what we want. We want that crunch when we bite into that crackling. And then bung it in a hot oven and cook it. And then when it comes out, when it's all fabulous and crispy, what you need to do is look underneath, and mostly because it's been cooked separately, all the fat comes into the dish and you'll be surprised how much fat will be in the bottom of that baking tray. But if there is still fat there, I just get a spoon and I just scrape it all out, because that's what you don't want. When you're eating it in the fatty, greasy pit, no one wants that. Take it all off, chop it all up, ready to go for Christmas. And that is the best way to do it. Now, The other one would be ham. We all love ham, and most people buy the leg ham. So look for the leanest and always cut the fat off. And ham is very high in salt, so just be aware that for people with diabetes and high cholesterol, you need to eat that one a little bit more moderate. I'd be having more turkey or more pork than the ham. And with the turkey, like we got ours the other day at Aldi. It's a big double breast. I mean, it has the skin on it, so when it's cooked, just take the skin off. That will make it much lower in fat. But I don't do a whole turkey. It takes forever to cook, and the legs and the wings take longer to cook, so if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to overcook the breast, it'll be dry. None of us like turkey drumsticks and the wings, so we just buy the breast, and you're getting lots of meat. Way to go, guys. Much easier to do. And with the baked veggies, now if you've got book one, you'll know how to do it. But when I said, I prep them up ahead, now key is to parboil them. So in the microwave for about 10 minutes, drain them well, onto the baking tray, generous spray of cooking spray, turn them once. Best baked vegetables on the planet, trust me. They are so good. You don't want them lying in lots of fat, because you know what? When you're eating that fat, it's going to be going on your thighs as you eat it. You know that. So we don't want to do that. Now, let's talk about the cold lunch a little bit more. You're going to be making lots of salads and things like that. So, as you know, I always say it, use the 97% fat-free mayonnaise, the no-oil dressings, and they make a huge difference. All these little bits and bobs will really help you keep on track, and no one will know. You know what I mean? Like, they will be so glad they've got a free meal and they haven't had to cook it. So who cares if you're doing it for you and making your life easier? Do it, because you're worth it. Now, let's talk dessert, because this is an important part of Christmas. Now, obviously, it's in the fridge ready to go, and I'll be serving that with the dairy whip, the dairy whip as the cream. It's the light version. Also, we love the Peter's low-fat custard. That's fantastic. But you could also make, which I like too, is the simple sweet cream, and that's in book 3, and that's just based on the cottage cheese, and you whip it up, and it's just a really good alternate to cream, because cream is just pretty woeful, and I'll tell you how much fat's in cream in a minute. If you're not a Christmas pud person, and you know what, there's a lot of people that don't really get excited about Christmas pudding, what I do is I make a whole batch of berries. Well, I don't make them, I just put them together, but you get the blueberries, the raspberries, the strawberries, mix them all together and serve that to someone that doesn't want a pudding. It is fabulous. It's really just delightful to have, and it still looks a bit Christmassy because it's all about the berries, and I'd be chucking some cherries in as well, and I de-pip them, so I'm a good hostess, I think, because I do that for everybody. The other options you've got for desserts, guys, is obviously in the cookbooks. You've got I've got some great trifles. In book 1 there's the wine trifle. You've got the chocolate trifle, which Diane didn't know about till I was talking about it this morning. She said, "You have a chocolate trifle?" I went, "Yes, I do," in book 2. I think she's got that on her Christmas menu. You've also got the mango trifle, which, mangoes are so fabulous right now. Fresh mango in it, very Aussie, fantastic for Christmas. And the other one, which is a really delicious twist on trifle, is the Italian trifle in book 7. You have to try that one, it's fabulous. Pavlova, book 2, why wouldn't you want to make a pav? Cherry Heaven even, if there's just a couple of you at home and you just want something a little bit nice, Cherry Heaven is just so easy to make and delightful to eat after a big meal. And if you haven't tried my festive ice cream pudding, what's wrong with you? It's in book 1, it's fabulous. And the other thing, just as a note, that I always make a bowl of punch, in the bowl, it's fabulous. I have ice in it and keep it cold. And there's a recipe for my anise fruit punch in book 5. So check that one out. Now, you've got to remember that Christmas is only for 24 hours. When you get up to the time you go to bed, you can consume a lot of food. So just be very careful that, because, you will have to face the scales after it. So I'd be saying, up your walking and your exercise in the next couple of weeks to counteract any excesses over Christmas, and just try and focus on lots of vegetables and salads and fresh fruit and things like that. Now, let's have a look here about, reality check. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be a Grinch here, but let's face it, there are lots of fats to eat at Christmas time. Did you know that if, for example, you wanted to have a baked dinner, Christmas pudding with cream, 5 scorched almonds, a handful of peanuts and cashews, and some chocolate-coated almonds, of course, a piece of Chrissy cake, I calculated the fats, and I'm sorry, get ready for it, 125 grams. Oh my goodness! That's crazy. No wonder people want to go to bed in the afternoon on Christmas, because their little body is just overwhelmed. So really, it does add up. Just be aware of what you're putting in your mouth, guys, and make some sensible choices. Now, for example, traditional choices like a mince pie is 10 grams of fat. Remember I mentioned the cream before? 3 tablespoons of cream is 21 grams of fat. Yeah. Chocolate-coated nuts for 50 grams are 20 grams of fat. 3, let me repeat that, 3 scorched almonds are 11 grams of fat. Now, I know in my heyday, I would go past that bowl of scorched almonds several times during the day, and I would grab probably 3 each time. So no wonder I would gain so much weight over Christmas. So be very careful of all those bowls sitting around. Cashews for a small handful are 10 grams, peanuts are 8, and mixed nuts for about 30 grams is 17 grams of fat. So, let me give you a couple of alternates for that. You could have them out for everybody else, and maybe have a couple of healthy options so you can grab them as well. Pretzels, fantastic. Popcorn. How about salsa with some chopped up veggies and crackers? I've got low-fat dips in book 4, which are phenomenal, and I always have a bulging fruit platter, and I put the little bricks underneath. So I have 2 trays. I put a tray down with 2 bricks, and then I, on top of that, put the fruit tray, and so that it keeps fabulous and cool. So that makes it nice. And just don't forget, I have my Christmas section in book 2, because that's got lots of options for you. So if you want to know how to really get through Christmas and make wise choices after today, I have to tell you the best way to do it is to go online and get my Christmas Survival Guide ebook. It is the most fabulous tool. It is so full of tips and solutions to the Christmas season, as well as some wonderful recipes. If you haven't got all the cookbooks, then you'll be pleasantly surprised at the amount of recipes that are in there that are totally for Christmas. But what I love about it, it's only $5.95, so you need to go on there and have strategies. It talks even about buying healthy Christmas presents for people. I know, it's all there. So just check it out on the website, www.simplytoogood.com.au. Now, I want to finish with 10 Christmas Day tips. Let's focus. We're talking, you've got out of bed and Santa's been. What are we going to do for the day? Well, do you know the first thing I do, apart from kiss my husband and say, Merry Christmas, where's my diamonds? No, Bill? Oh, he's looking at me, diamonds? I always do this every year. Since I started it when I lost my weight, and I call it Annette's Christmas plate. So I get a Christmas plate and I put on it what I want to have for the day. So I'll get a couple of scorched almonds, a couple of licorice all sorts, maybe 1 toffee, because I don't want to do too many toffees. A little bit of some handfuls of cashews, because I love cashews, a little bit of Christmas cake, and maybe a mince pie. Like, whatever it is that you kind of feel like you want to, but I just control it all, and I put it in, and I look at it and go, wow, this is awesome. So I don't cling wrap it, I foil it, because I don't want anyone seeing it and getting into it. So everyone knows, I go, here's my plate, it's a no-go zone for anybody. So I disregard all the other nibblies and whatever are out on display for everyone to eat, so they're not for me. So I just look and go, no, that doesn't belong to me. What I go to whenever I feel like anything is that treat plate. And do you know what? Most of the time, I don't get through it all, but at least I have it there, and if I want to get through it all, well, that's okay. So it's called control Christmas eating. I love it. Do it. Now, number 2 is really have a little bit of everything, because it is Christmas Day. Don't be gorging like I used to when I weighed 100 kilos on those scorched almonds. A little bit. Just have a little bit of everything. That way you're not missing out, guys. It's just, if you eat too much, then you will come undone. And make sure you, enjoy what the day's about. It's not just about food. It's about your family, celebrating your religious faith, and not going to work for the day. I'm loving it. Now, number 3 is do remember that all the food you are eating, you can get it 365 days of the year, you know. Even mince pies, you can get them any time of the year. So it's not like, okay, it's Christmas, I have to gorge because I'm never going to get another scorched almond again. No, it's going to be always there. So just think about facing the scales in the next few days and how that'll work for you. Go for a walk, go for a run. Get the tennis things at the cricket set, you know, like get all the toys that the kids have got out, like, you know, like badminton sets and whatever. Get out in the backyard and burn those calories on the day, and it'll make a huge difference. Like go to the beach, go and swimming wherever if you're near a beach, of course. Now, tip 5 is fill up on the salads, the veggies, lean meats and fruit. There, you make them your go-to, that your bulk food comes from there, and all the others are just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Do not be masochistic and sit in front of all the food. No, don't do that to yourself. That's called crazy. You know, like if you've got you've got a big coffee table out and you've got all the Christmas fare on it, sit so that you're not looking at it. Or if you can, be the furthest away so you can't just reach over and grab that other licorice or sort again. You know what I mean? It's really about being kind to yourself, but if you can put your back to it, it's even better because then you won't be tempted to go back too many times. Look, number 7 is really important. It's going to be hot this year. Stay hydrated. Lots of water, because you can confuse hunger with dehydration. So drink lots of water. You know, just think about how much alcohol you need to have on the day, and just, you know, bulk up you're drinking with as much water. I mean, I'm getting some mineral water and some lime, and that's going to be my little drink for Christmas. Number 8 is show moderation. This is the really big thing. You know, don't go back for seconds. Restrict yourself to 1 serve of Christmas pudding and cake, and always say, just a small slice for me, thanks, I'm not that hungry. Okay, let's say that together. Just a small slice, I'm not that hungry. See? Perfect. Even if you don't mean it, just fake it till you make it, guys, because you know what? A little of everything is fine. And, you know, if you are visiting, number 9 is visiting friends or family. If you're not having it at your place and take some guilt-free stuff with you, people. You know, take some dips. I mean, I'm sorry, but my Mexican dip is mandatory Christmas Day. Not only does it look, you know, it's got the red, white and green on the top of it, but my kids just graze on that all day. And this is why we don't like to have a really big baked dinner at 2 or 3 o'clock, because we rather just have fresh prawns and things like that. But it's to each your own. Number 10 is there's no need to deprive yourself. This is the thing. Don't feel like, you know, you can't have anything. You know, enjoy Christmas, but make the right choices. And remember, there'll be Christmas again. Every year we get a Christmas. So this is not your last supper. It's not your last Christmas, people. So just have a plan and stick with it. Now, I just really want to quickly touch on leftovers before we finish up. Now, leftovers can be a real problem, I reckon, at Christmas time, because we always over cater. You know, you have too much. But if you've got any meat left over or ham, for example, chop it up and make them into fritters by just blending in some shallots and maybe some corn and grated carrots or whatever you want to put in with an egg white, a bit of plain flour, a bit of seasoning, you know, and just mix it together and make them into fritters. But if you don't know how to do fritters, go to book 3. I've got corn fritters in there, and you could add your ham, would be fantastic. Ham and corn fritters would be great after Christmas if you've got lots of ham left over. You know, you could leftover turkeys and chicken. Why not do, you know, the chicken in a hurry, in quiches. The pork is fantastic chopped up as a sweet and sour pork, and that's in, I think sweet and sour is in book 3. Now, with the baked veggies left over, chop them up, chuck them in salads. I mean, who doesn't love a salad with roast vegetables in it? Or make a bit of bubble and squeak. Also, you know, leftover Christmas pudding. If you've got some left over, what I've done in the past is I've chopped it up and folded it in with some pineapple and have that, so it's, you know, like just a nicer, lighter way to eat it. But also you can make trifles with Christmas pudding. So instead of a sponge on the bottom, you chop up and put the pudding on the bottom, and that's yum. But you know what? You can freeze Christmas pudding and have it in 3 months' time when you know, you want to have it again. You're so sick of it over Christmas, but have a break and it freezes really well. It would last for about 3 months. Now, my final thought on, you know, the festive eating is if all else fails, you just lose the plot, get back on track as soon as possible. You know what I mean? If you just keep going on till January, you're going to come undone. So make the commitment. Okay, I didn't do so well, but I'm back on track. It's Boxing Day. Do that. And if you've got other leftovers like, nuts and chocolates and that, give them out. Give them to the neighbours. Whoever walks by, just say, take it, take it. But what I do is I just buy the small bags. I don't buy the big bags. I buy the small, and they're done and dusted pretty quickly. Alrighty, so now that's all I've got for you about Christmas feasting, but I do have something very exciting for the prize for this week's show. I know, this is going to be big. It's our last show for 2017. What you've got to do is you have to like the Facebook Live where we are. Like it, share it, and then in the comments you write hashtag simply too good. Remember, it's SY. If you write SI, you don't get a chance in it. It's got to be correct. It's SYMPLY too good. And you'll go in the draw. Stop it right now. Get ready to be excited. You're going to win the ultimate prize. 3 people are going to win it, and you'll be notified next week, so you'll have it in time for Christmas, hopefully. You're going to win a complete set of my cookbooks. That's 7 books, personally signed. You're also, hello, yes, there's more. You're going to get a set of measure spoons. You're going to get an 8-week journal, so this is going to kickstart 2018 for you. And then you get to pick one of the shakes. That's right, you can pick whatever flavour you want. There's the creamy vanilla, iced coffee, wicked chocolate. Yes, you're going to get that as well. So this prize is worth over $160. So Merry Christmas to you, whoever wins. Go for it. Everyone's got a chance. So remember, if you want to go and check out the Survival Guide Christmas book, go to the website, simply2good.com.au. And I mean, at the end of the day, all these tips are what I've done and how I've been able to maintain my weight, because who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy doing it the Annette simply too good to be true way. Now, let's talk about 2018. Yes, we will be back. Yes, we will. And I can't wait to share with you the ideas. We have got some fantastic things planned for 2018. You have to be here. The 1st of February, which is a Thursday, so it's easy to remember, is our first show back. Now, just mark it in your diary, put it on your calendar, reminder on your phone, be there, 1st of February. So thank you, guys. Can we just give them a big Merry Christmas, everybody? Merry Christmas! Bye now.